Hi, welcome to Penzi Halisi. I'm your host Julia Omore, and today we have such a beautiful couple, Benson and Clarice, and they really have a story to share. You know, in our community, not even our community, in Africa now, when you get married and you stay maybe for 1 year, they give you just an allowance for 1 year. And for 2 years, when you don't have a baby, they even start complaining and giving you issues and telling you what to do. So the next story will really inspire us. And karibu sana, Mr. and Mrs. Okeyo. Karibu. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, thank you so much. So Benson, please tell us what you do. Yes.
Yeah, greetings viewers. My name is Benson Okeyo. I'm the lead pastor of Friends Fellowship Assembly in Hamza, Makadara. It's great to be here.
Wow.
And we are here together with my wife. Kindly introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Clarice Okeyo. I am a mother, I'm a pastor, I'm a worship minister. I lead a team called Vessels of Honor International. I also lead a ladies ministry interdenominational called Emeralds. And I'm also a pastor at Friends Fellowship Assembly, a mother of two.
A mother of two. Wow.
Yes.
And by the way, she can really sing. I hope we'll have time. She's a great worshiper, woman of God. So tell us how you met.
We met in 1997. We were in the same college, formerly Kenya Polytechnic. Nowadays it's called TUK, Technical University of Kenya. So it was a friend of mine. I remember I met that friend of mine. It's called Muicha. So Muicha gave me a book and told me, kindly take this book to Block C, class Flani. You will find a lady called Clarice. Give it to her. So I took the book. Then I met Clarice and we became friends. Yeah, the rest is history.
Were you in love the first sight, or you are just friends first?
We were just friends.
Wow.
And we were friends from 1997 to the year 2000. Purely friendship.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pure friendship. There was no love.
No love.
Yeah.
And that time were you? And that time were you saved? Like both of you were you?
Yes, I was saved, but I was not serving in ministry.
Okay.
Her, she was active in ministry.
Okay.
But me, I loved the Lord. I went to church. We were in the same ministry. But I was not serving. Yes.
You know, there's always a story that you share where you come from, Bangu, Kariobangi.
Yes.
How come that uli get through kababi? You know, like how, you know, when I hear your story, I'm always so encouraged, because when Bishop Alan talks about his story, I really relate to your story, because it's really so amazing and where God has taken you. Hebu tuambie your story ya Kariobangi.
Okay. I was born in Kariobangi in the mid-70s. And I grew up in Kariobangi. There were so many temptations. And I have to admit that I was a drunkard.
You are a drunkard?
Yeah.
Wow, you don't look...
I smoked weed, but it didn't go well with me. So I left weed and I remained with alcohol. So I swallowed alcohol like no one's business.
Wow.
So I remember one day I went to drink somewhere, and it's a very risky place, Kiamaiko. So we drank until very late. Then I walked home. So then I slept. But when I woke up in the morning, I started wondering, how did I pass
this place?
Oh
my God.
Because by then, they used to kill people. They used to murder people in that area. So I started wondering, how did I cross that place? So it was at that moment that I knelt down. I was alone. I knelt down and I asked God to save me. That's how I got saved. Because I saw that And then if this is not God who has delivered me from death, because it was a very dangerous place by then. Yeah, so the Lord delivered me, and it occurred to me that I needed God. Yeah.
Oh, at that time.
At that time. So that's how I gave my life to Christ. And then a friend of mine, she's called Herin. Herin used to serve together with Clarice. So after salvation, I went to Herin. I shared my story that now I'm born again. Then she introduced me to Mwicha. Then Mwicha introduced me to Clarice. Then together they introduced me to the ministry called End Time Revival Ministries. Yeah.
Okay. So, and that time in Kariobangi, when you're saved, what were the challenges? You know, like I can imagine a young man in Kariobangi, you're saved. You know the temptations there. You need money. You can't steal. Now you're saved. How was it?
The temptation was immense. I remember at some point when I told my friends that I'm born again, they laughed. Some gave me a week, some a month, some a year, but the Lord helped me. But the greatest challenge was association, because now they were not born again, but they were my friends. So at times I would find myself going back to drinking, not because I want to, but because of association. So I remember one of the greatest temptation that I had, the greatest. There was a point that my friends, we were in the house. Then they brought a lady, wakanifungia nje. They were trying to prove kama ni mwokoko. So that was one of my greatest challenge. But the Lord helped me.
Amen.
Yeah.
And Clarice, you know nowadays, the ladies, they want people who are driving, people who have money and everything. Nolisikia your man, at that time, yuko anakabangu, sijui nini. How was it?
For me, it's interesting because I think, number one, we were very good friends from college. And apparently by that time I was in another relationship. And he knew about it, and we would just talk. And we were very good friends. And every time we would meet, I would encourage him, because I knew he's a new believer. I would encourage him to grow in God. And I remember severally I kept on telling him, God will bless you with a good wife. Never mind, when you serve God, God will be faithful to you. So years later I kept on laughing, that I was prophesying to myself. And I think that the friendship we had was so Christ-centered. And I remember after college we parted ways. We didn't see each other, I think, for a year plus or 2 years. And then one time when I was taking some team members to a birthday party in Kariobangi, I remember, Kariobangi South. Then up to Harmony, when we were walking, I see him standing and I'm like, Allah, this is my friend. I've not seen him for such a long time. And I'm like, Ben, usiende, narudi, napeleka watu mahali. And I came back, I found him there, because I was just dropping the guys and going home, because my paros, we had curfew. You couldn't come home past a certain time. So we met, we walked home, we were trying to catch up. And then when I reached my place, I just ingia dapo umo, and he continued to walk because he was going to work. And I think from there is when the spark happened. And by that time, I had already broken up in the former relationship. I think it was almost a year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And do you know your mom was my teacher, and she was tough.
She was.
She was very tough, and I love the discipline that she had. And now tell us you know, like when you get married, you're really so excited, you know, the weddings and everything, you come home after honeymoon. What were your plans? Had you decided that when we get married you'll just have kids immediately? You know, there are people who like my big sister, you know, she had decided that after maybe 2 years she'll have a baby. What were your plans? Or
we had great plans. Actually, plans leading to the wedding, and even after the wedding, we had a very big book, a very big diary that we wrote down our plans.
Yeah.
Wow.
When we started relating, we came up with a vision, our vision for the marriage.
What?
And we wrote it down.
Yeah.
So we settled, we agreed on the date of the wedding, we agreed on when we'll take the dowry, and we wrote it down. We agreed on who will be the best man, the linesman, the bridesmaid, the children. We agreed on everything. When we started relating, once we settled after praying and everything, we started writing down the vision. And so we related for 5 years. Then 2005, we started now preparation for the wedding in December.
Okay, 2005.
Yeah. So I remember that January of 2000, again my greatest test. I'm supposed to start my plans for the wedding. Then I lost my job.
Oh.
And she was not working.
Oh my.
She was in ministry. She was believing God for everything. So I lost my job. I'm supposed to go and pay dowry in the month of April.
Oh no.
And I'd already committed myself. So I went to a friend of mine. I told him my story. And he encouraged me. That must be God. So okay, I said, okay, I will go. So I started looking for money here and there, here and there. And I remember the first visit I went, I had only 10,000.
Oh my God.
But I went nevertheless.
What?
And when I went, I sat down. His dad was still alive then. And his dad said the most important thing is love.
Wow.
If you love one another,
Wow.
then I truly support this thing.
Wow.
And he gave us his blessings.
Wow.
So I thank God that after that, the Lord started providing. Then in August, her dad passed on.
Yeah.
August that same year. Then people are saying, no, you should not wed. You've lost your job. Your father-in-law has died.
Those are
Postpone
signs.
the wedding. Those are signs that you're supposed to go slow on this thing.
Yeah, and you know there are Christians telling you that. Yeah, signs. Mature.
So I remember her mom called us and she told us, Mzee had already blessed this marriage.
Amen.
So we should continue with the plans. So we continue with the plans. Remember, I'm not working. And she's not working. But we continue with the plans.
Yeah.
So in the month of September, we started our committee, the wedding committee. Then in September, she got some kibarua somewhere in the industrial area. Me, I still don't have work. So we continue with the plans. By then I used to stay with my 3 brothers. So we were staying 4 of us. So now I was asking myself, when I marry Clarice, where are we going? Who will shift?
Yeah.
Will my 3 brothers shift or me?
Oh my God.
So we just kept on praying. So until the wedding day, we didn't know where we were going.
Oh, yes.
That was
Until that day.
Until the wedding day.
What?
So that on Friday evening, a friend of mine sent me some money from the US. Friday evening, very late in the evening, past 7. So it was difficult to get a house after 7.
Yeah.
So I remember during the wedding, I'm in the wedding, but I'm still wedding. Tukitoka hapa tunaenda wapi?
But you had honeymoon plans.
We didn't have plans for the honeymoon.
For the honeymoon. Oh.
Yeah.
My
So I'm wondering, where will we go after the wedding? Then just after the church service, I went to her sister. She's called Julie.
Yeah.
I gave her the money. Told her, tafadhali endo tutafute nyumba.
That time now.
That time.
What?
So she left early to go and look for the house. But God, again, she went and found the house, cleaned the house, and made the house ready. So I remember God blessed us. We got everything that we needed to start life.
Yeah.
So that was Saturday. So we went to a hotel, Safari Park.
Wow.
Then in the morning,
Hey, Safari Park.
yes, in the morning, I meet a friend of mine had told me that for your honeymoon you just come to Mombasa. Once mkifika Mombasa, I will take care of you guys. But now we didn't have even transport money. So I remember a friend of ours came to see us in the morning, Pastor Chris Atemo. And Chris gave us exactly what we needed to go to Mombasa and come back. So we went to Mombasa for 5 days. Then after 5 days, we came back to Nairobi. So I remember when we came to Nairobi, I called a friend of mine that was taking care of our house. That kwetu ni wapi?
Give us directions because we have no idea.
So he gave us directions. Tukafika. Then he came akatupik, akatupereka. Yeah.
And life started now.
And life started.
Was it like, did you guys struggle? Like, did you have everything? Like, you know, like other couples, wanakuanga, they are so blessed, you know, when they come in, the jobs, everything is, you know, like us we struggled, yani mpaka unashanga, hey God, kweli ni what? How was it?
Yeah, the struggle was there. But thank God we were the two of us. Amen. So we used to encourage ourselves in the Lord. We didn't have a television. We didn't have a radio. I remember a friend of us visiting us and telling us, how do you guys survive? Without a television, without... And I think it drew us closer. Yeah.
Apparently, as it says that, I just keep on thanking God for that. Because I think we didn't have a TV or a radio for 2 years. And we could have so much time to talk. That we would talk up to past midnight. And today we look back and we smile and we think that really built our communication. It really did. Because at times the gadgets that we have seem to interrupt our communication and our fellowship with one another. Yeah. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Wow, wow, that is just so amazing. And now what happened after that? Like, were you at that time working or you're not working?
I was still not working.
Oh, you're still not working?
Yeah. So by then, she was working. But me, I was not working.
Okay. And how was it that she's working? You know, nowadays men feel like, you know, you are the head, you are supposed to work. How was it?
You see, I understood because I was working before that. Then I lost my job. So I was just looking for another opportunity. So that was 2005. For about 6 months after the wedding, I was not working. But after 6 months, I got employed. Wow. To another company.
To another company. So tell us about the journey. Mnatafuta watoto. How was it?
So we had a plan, like every other couple, that we want children. And I remember pressure started coming in after 1 year. After 1 year. Yeah, so my mom would call, kijana yangu, kuna kitu. Kijana yangu, ama kuna shida na huyo bibi yako.
And by the way, let me ask you before you go there. Had you planned like how long will you stay? Like, you know, like I had told my husband, because unajua nilikuwa pia mzee vile nili get married, like I was just 29 going to 30, so nilikuwa naambia aki God to come through. Like, did you have like, say like you'll stay for a year, maybe 6? Did you have that in mind?
Yeah. Oh. We actually wanted to for 2 years.
Yeah. For 2 years?
Yeah. So 1 year.
You know each other?
Yeah, and then the next year we start now trying.
Okay.
So after 1 year, we started trying, but the baby was not coming. And I remember at some point we got frustrated, and I remember we met a doctor friend of ours. She's called Dr. Mudani. She's a Christian. And we told her our predicament. And so she encouraged us. Told us bado. Mtoto atakuja msikono wasiwasi. So we kept on waiting and waiting and waiting. And there were so many pressures and alternatives. I remember one of our colleagues at work told her, Clary, wacha nikupeleke huko Kitui. Ukatengenezwe.
What?
Yeah. So we waited for 4 years. So the 5th year is when the baby came.
Oh, the 5th year. And how was it with the families and friends, you know?
It was bad. Like I remember I met a minister. And he told me, kwani ulienda kwa ndoa kucheza? Watoto wako wapi? And that really hurt me. So at times there are people that are careless with words. Some people are very careless.
And we don't mind about people who are going through issues and we don't even know why they are, maybe they even decided, or even it's a condition or something. But I think we are too quick to also come in and judge, and may God forgive us for that.
Some people are very careless, and it's bad when it is coming from the church. Because from the church will be a support center where when you come, regardless of the issue that you're dealing with, you're supposed to find support. But again, some people are very careless with their words.
And then you find they are saved people.
They are saved people.
That,
But the greatest pressure was in my family. That at times I would go home and my grandmother would be on my case. My parents would be on my case. The people, my cousins would be on my case. So it reached a point I said, from now on, I will not go home with my wife. I was trying to protect her. Because me, I can handle, those are my people. I can handle them. But she can't handle them. So I told myself.
And Clarice, were they telling you directly, ama ni zile tu za kukusho?
No. Somehow no.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And your friends?
But even my friends, most of my friends, I would say I have very good friends. Most of my friends are people that we used to pray with. And none of them really said anything that would hurt me. But every time he would be told something, he would come and share. And I would feel his heart, especially from people that are born again and are mature. I remember one who even told her, it seems like you're shooting blanks, you know. And I was just thinking, really? And from my own family, there's not really pressure as such, but they were just concerned. Because in my family, I'm a little bit reserved. So they are concerned, but they're wondering how are they going to ask this thing, you know. But I know there were those questions and undertones of just kunaendaje huku, you know. But I would also say it gave me an opportunity to, every time I see a lady that has been married and doesn't have a child, at times if I can talk to them, I do. But at times if they are far from my reach, what I do is I just pray for them that God would really bless them, because I know how that really feels, especially in the society that we are in, apparently even amongst the Christians. And when I get an opportunity to talk to women, I tell them, when you see someone's daughter getting married, please stop asking them every now and then, where is the child? Because if we had supermarkets where children would be bought, we'd be buying and giving them. But the Bible says that children are a gift from God. It's only God who gives. So, yeah, I also try and tell women to just shut your mouth. Or
even pray for the couples.
But I think the worst thing is when the pressure comes from the church. That is the worst thing. Because actually you expect support from the church. But the first place where you, especially if you're a minister, there are guys who will start questioning. How will you dedicate other people's children?
I'm telling you.
Have your own. When it comes to the issue of waiting for the blessing of children, at times the pressure, and it's bad to say, it comes from the church. The church should be a place of support, where whatever need you have, you can go there and you find support. But it's so bad when you believe in God and people are fighting you, people are talking about you in church. And it's even bad when you're a minister. Because as a minister, people, they'll start telling you to your face, how can you dedicate other children's, other people's children when you don't have a child? How can you pray for women that are trusting God for children when you don't have your own children? So I think we need to change that.
And how were you feeling at that time? Like when, you know, like you're a minister and somebody comes and tell you, you know, like how will it be praying for other women to have children? You're not even praying for your wife. Like, how was it?
It hurts deeply. Actually, there are some that I never used to share with her. Like the person who told me, and is a believer, that I'm shooting blanks. I didn't share with her. So after receiving the gift of the baby, that is when I shared with her.
Nice,
Yeah, because actually I was trying to protect, but it really hurts. It really hurts. Yeah.
So we can say the church should be sensitive.
Yes.
Yes, about everything that is happening.
Yeah.
That we don't. I think we have also come to learn a lot, because at times we tend to talk about them, as you're saying, and to judge, or even asking without even thinking that they are getting hurt. But I think we can also come with a solution, that we can also pray for them, or even ask, by the way, ni nyinyi mmeplan, or can we even be there to assist or to walk the journey? But most of us, I think we are just there to just judge, and wow. We'll just take a short break, and we'll be just right back after the break. Thank you so much. God bless. Yeah, welcome back to Penzi Halisi. We have Mr. and Mrs. Okeyo, Benson and Clarice. Thank you so much, and that story is so amazing. And we are also learning that we should not even look down on people, or even judge, or even criticize. You know, we don't know what people are going through. Yeah. So you are telling us after the break, the way you could even miss your periods, and then later you find that you how was it?
It happens, and it happened. It happened to me that you'd find for probably a month or two, you didn't get to attend your menstrual cycle the way you should, and you think, hey, this time, man, then the third month, the visitor comes knocking, and you're wondering, I thought this has happened, and it was 4 years is not a short time; it's a long time, you know. And from there, I learned that even when you see people, because I remember one time when we were sharing a testimony, and someone says, 4 years ndo testimony mnatuambia. 4 years is nothing. And I was wondering, my God, I wish you wore my shoe. So I'd like to encourage people that never downplay someone's testimony. The Bible says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. And probably for me, I was expecting a child immediately. And it's 7 months and I'm not having a child. And the kind of frustration I'm having, I can only believe God. So when I come to you and you tell me, that is not a testimony. I mean, it is. When God, we all go through processes, and our processes are different depending on the purposes of God in our lives. Our experiences might be similar, but our processes are different. And I think it's good for us to learn to appreciate someone else's testimony. Yeah, there are those that have waited for 20 years. There are those that have waited for 1 year, and they waited, waited for 4 years. It does not mean that the one that waited even for 3 months is not a testimony. It is. Because there's something that was worked out in her that made her a better Christian, a better believer. There are things that she learned through the process. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is so encouraging. So, and when you got now the child, how was it? Like wale walikuwa nasema, walikuwa wapi? How was it?
Even before he speaks,
you remember that day?
Let me just say, because of the kind of things that I had gone through, by there I never shared with anyone about my pregnancy. And even where I used to work, I worked normally. I stopped going to work like today. And I even had visitors. That weekend, I remember on Sunday, we had June and the hubby. And that Sunday, Kuamkia Monday, that is when I gave birth. And that is how I sent message to my mom and to my siblings, to my workplace. And they're wondering, please, where do you say you are at? which maternity? Were you even pregnant?
Yeah.
And I'm saying like, yeah. And my mother said, Aki, you're just 1 in a million. How do you do that? And probably it's because
You didn't even share with your family, your mom.
But I did.
What?
And probably it's because of the kind of pressure I'd gone through.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to go through the process with God. It was so personal for me.
Wow. And again, I can imagine you're a worshiper, you were just worshiping. Wow, that was so nice. And how was it like, when you give birth, you're in church now, those, we can't just... Yeah.
I remember even before giving the birth, there's a time we met a lady. And that lady saw that she was pregnant.
Wow.
And that lady started crying.
Wow.
Because actually, even to her, she was praying together with us.
Oh.
She was standing in the gap. So when she saw that she was pregnant, she didn't know. When she saw it, she just broke down and started crying.
Oh.
Yeah, and then when the baby came, I was so excited. I remember I was the first to leave work. I just want to come and hold my son.
And we were coming from night shift, by the way.
Yeah, so it was a great, great blessing.
Wow. And did you call home Paros Unawasho?
Yes, I told them.
I can imagine she didn't say when she's pregnant. They didn't even know.
Yeah.
Okay. How was it with their parents?
They were so happy.
Ah, okay.
They were so
Wow.
happy.
Wow. Wow. So, hey, that is so, like when you're waiting, waiting on the Lord, and then you have that gift. Oh, that is so amazing. So tell us about ministry. Like you're young couple, you're in ministry. How is it? Is it smooth? Unajua, like God, how is it?
Okay, let me just start from the beginning. I was not in ministry. I loved the Lord. I was serving in church, but I was not in ministry. But she was actively involved in ministry. So when I felt that she was the one that God wanted me to marry, I understood her heart. Then I made a decision that I'm going to support her ministry. I remember before our wedding, there are guys, men of God, who told her, why do you marry a brother?
Yeah.
You're supposed to get married to men of God,
Yeah.
not a brother.
No. Yeah, that's true.
For real?
Oh, yes.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was so discouraging. There's people that despised because her, she was in the limelight, but me was back there. But we connected. But I made a decision that since she loves the Lord and she's serving the Lord, I'm going to support her to do just that.
Yeah.
So we wedded.
Were you intimidated like she was,
No,
like...
I was not intimidated.
Wow.
I accepted it as a fact.
Wow, that is
I
nice.
understood the ministry and I made a decision to support that ministry.
Wow.
So what is fun, what I've learned over the years is that in marriage, there will be one partner that has a dominant ministry.
It's true.
So if the other partner supports that dominant ministry, her ministry or his ministry will be birthed out of the dominant ministry.
Wow.
That is what happened to me. In the course of supporting her ministry, my ministry was birthed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
So my ministries are, it's actually a fast food.
Wow. Wow.
It was birthed out of a ministry. So I was not intimidated. I'm still not intimidated. She has so much influence than me. So I support that. And through that, my ministry has been birthed. Even the church that we are having is as a result of a ministry.
Amen. Amen. Yes. And how has been ministry, like new church, new people?
I think ministry is interesting.
Quite interesting.
She was, both of us were working, and she was actively involved in ministry. I was pastoring another church then. So she was also actively involved, but both of us were working. Then the greatest test came when I felt that the Lord was now leading me to leave work and go into ministry full time.
Full-time ministry.
That was in 2010. So I prayed about it. Then I shared it with her. I told her, I feel like the Lord wants me to now go
To
full-time ministry. She said she knows my heart and she will support that.
Wow.
But at that point, I was making that decision because I knew that she has a salary.
You're doing that because you know she's earning.
Job,
Kuna tudo
salary yake iko. So she said, okay, that's if I know your heart. That's what she told me. I remember the night before I went to resign, I didn't sleep because I was thinking about it.
Yeah, and you know you are the head also.
Yeah.
And okay.
I didn't sleep that night. So I went the next day, I resigned. So the manager gave me a window period
to think about
it. Okay, Benson, you just go, but I'm giving you 2 months. Just think about it.
Yeah. Wow.
So I resigned. Then, the moment I resigned, and after that 2 months, she lost her job.
What?
She lost her job.
What?
So now both of us
are not working.
We have bills to pay.
And the child,
actually it's now a new child. The firstborn.
Yeah.
That was a great test. So I remember I went to a man of God. I told him, hey, I really majaribu gani. I told her, I felt the Lord leading me into ministry. When I resigned to enter ministry, my wife lost her job.
Yeah.
What is this? So the man of God told me, that is God.
That's the way God works.
That's the way God works.
Yeah.
So we continued, just trusting God. I remember that time where I was serving, they used to give me 6,000. They would pay me 6,000. So it was not even enough to pay my house rent then. So it was just, we started trusting God, for every coin.
Imagine.
For every coin.
And you know, that's where now God comes in.
Yes.
And you depend, unajua ile trusting the Lord with all your heart, with all your... It is now that time. And not leaning on our own understanding. And I think that period, the challenges at times make us trust God more. That we depend on Him no matter what. And you see even miracles happening. Say you na get tu mtu ana enye God amenispikia. You know, like it happens.
Actually, there was a testimony. There was a time we had arrears. The rent arrears. And I remember we went to minister to a couple. And after minister, just talking to them and counseling them, they gave us exactly
the amount
what we needed for.
Oh, you see the way God works.
So God just worked miracles. I think it was a season where God was teaching us to trust Him. I can say that.
To live by faith.
Because I think in ministry, when God calls you, one of the lessons He has to teach you is to trust Him
completely.
Because at times you go into ministry, but you have plan B.
Yes, exactly.
Like me, I had plan B. My plan B was a salary.
And God saw that.
And that brook dried.
Yeah. Oh.
So now we were forced by circumstance to look to God.
Yeah.
Kabisa. Trusting in Him completely. And you know, there's something that has really shocked me. You know, she told me that the weddings that you've been Kwaline, we call them the best man and best lady. They are like 40. You know, like and she's saying, unajua ni kidogo sana, it's a period. Like she's so calm. I'm saying, we've been 17 years and we can even count. Zile tumesimamia. I think you have such an amazing ministry for for married people. How is it? Unajua ni mingi sana. And you know, she was telling me and she was so calm. I'm like, do you know that is you inaweza kwa Guinness Book of World Records 40 and above.
We decided to mentor couples. We saw there was a gap when we were wedding. There was a gap in that area. So we made a decision even before our wedding that once we get married, we want to work with people. So we work with them before the wedding and after the wedding. So before the wedding, we do premarital counseling with them. We just work with them in the daily details. And then after that, after wedding, we continue working with them.
Marital,
So I remember one thing I've learned out of that, we've actually mentored more than 40 couples.
Imagine.
More than 40 couples that we've bested. One thing that
it's more than 40.
It's more than 40.
Hey,
and actually there are some that we are wedding this year. we are supporting this year.
Oh my God, that's a blessing.
Yeah, so one thing we've learned that in the process of holding other couples' hands, the Lord strengthens our own marriage.
Yeah. True.
There are moments when go, a couple is having issues in their marriage, so we go to support them. We go to talk to them, to counsel them.
Yeah.
So in the process of counseling them, the problem that they are dealing with, we discover that we also have the same problem. So it's a two-edged sword. We help them, and we also get help.
Yeah.
Sometimes the husband has issues. Then after the counseling, my wife tells me, hey, hata una kuanga hivyo. So now it's a two-edged sword. So we've learned that in the process of helping other couples, your marriage gets strengthened.
True.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know, hey, you're so amazing, because you know there are so many ministers that, you know, the day you get married, hao wanakuachia tu hapo and I know pia wale zingine tuna best ni ile tu nakumbukanga once na but them mnaendeleaje, you know, like the way you just walk with them and get time, it is so amazing. 40 plus couples, you get in touch with them and you know what they're doing, you're following up. That's the greatest ministry. And then your pastors, you can imagine the way mkona church, mkona hii, how is it, like how do you even balance all those things with the couples? And
yeah, it's crazy because actually some couples stay out of town. There are some who are outside the country. Some are in the US, some are in other counties in Kenya. So it's a delicate balance. And we can't say that we see them oftenly. But when we have the opportunity of seeing them, we make the most of that opportunity. We make the most. And then also we've planned something at least once per year. We organize something for them where we just come, all of us, and we sit down and we talk.
And you also have like men, is it men, the men fellowship?
Yes, we have
and also the couples ministry.
Yes.
But are you consistent? Like, do you like do it like mostly, or is it once a year, once a month? How is it?
Okay. We also saw another need, and it's the need of absenteeism. Fathers who are absent. They are there, but they are absent. Or fathers who don't know how to father because they never saw a father. So we saw that need and we stepped in. So about 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, I started a ministry called Men Alive.
Men Alive.
Yeah, Men Alive. We are just mentoring men on what it means to be a man and what it means to be a father. Because we've realized that there are so many men who are never raised by fathers. You see, a mother can take you to school and do everything, but a woman can never teach you how to be a man. It takes a man to teach a man how to be a man.
I agree.
So we've been doing that, and actually there's something that the Lord again is birthing. The Lord is leading us to start another fellowship for teenage boys.
Wow.
Between 13 to 19. So we are hoping to do it in April next year when they close school. Just a camp meeting where we start teaching them what it means to be a man from an early stage, what it means to be a man, and also the responsibility of manhood. Because you realize that nowadays men are like, they are very sissy, they are very weak. We don't have strong men. Actually, if you wake up in the morning, you go to the stage, you find most women wameamka mapema, wanaenda wengine marikiti, wengine wanaenda job, but there are very few men. Ukienda kwa stage, you'll see that reality. We have very weak men. So we need to go back and start teaching even the teenage boys what it means to be a man, the responsibility of manhood, about protecting women, that when God brings a woman to you, you are supposed to protect that woman. She's supposed to be safe
Yeah.
because you're there.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's what we want to do next year. We will continue with the men alive. And also we just want to start now from a young age,
Yeah.
just to working with these boys. So that by the time they enter into young adulthood, they know what it means to be a man. Yeah.
And you know, we don't have so many things of, you know, of men. Like ladies, you know, they have so many, the chamas, the nini. And you know, that's why maybe mostly the ladies don't, depression is so low on ladies because I'll come, I share with her, how are you, you know, but men, it's hard to share. They don't talk, you know, they're close. Football and politics. And you know, they're hurting inside and they don't want to share. And you know, when you start with the teenagers and you know talking to them about being a man or whatever, the community will change. Will definitely change. You're doing a good work and may God bless you so much. So Clarice, encourage other ladies, you know, like, you know, you've talked about so many things, but at least I want you to encourage a lady who is there. Yeah.
I want to encourage different categories of ladies.
All of them, please.
Number one, the ones that are single and willing and waiting. At times the waiting seems so long, but just know that the God you serve is your great reward. Abraham, at some point in Genesis 15, he looked at himself and he began to ask God if God would allow him to get the servant from Eliezer's family because he doesn't have an heir. And God told him, do not be afraid because I have shielded you and I will give you an heir. So I want you to know that your blessing will come in God's time. I know at times it doesn't make sense, but please just be faithful, continue waiting. Number two, I want to talk to ladies that have probably born children out of wedlock. I know at times society really brings us down, and even the church, at times we have failed in that. I just want to say that I really respect and honor you because you chose to carry the seed. And though they think that you are more of a sinner than those that are having their tummies flat, I want you to know that once you reconcile yourself to God, of course there will be consequences. It will be hard to raise your child. But keep the faith, continue to serve God, continue being faithful. And in good time, God will put a smile on your face. And number three, I want to talk to ladies that are waiting and believing God for the fruit of the womb. Just know that God is faithful. I feel your pain. I might not be able to say everything right now, but receive my hugs and loves, and just know that I am praying for you. I might not really know you, but I want you to know that I've seen God faithful. Out of my own story, I have seen ladies. God has brought me ladies that have believed God for the fruit of the womb. And I have seen numerous ladies carry their babies. And miracle babies, even them that were told it is impossible because they have fibroids. Doctors say they can't. I have seen God do that miracle. And I believe for that miracle for you also. And lastly, I want to thank God for the women that are supporting other women. Only real queens fix other queens' crowns. Do not pull down a fellow woman, just encourage them. God, you never went through waiting, you never went through waiting in marriage. You got married, you got your children. Support other women around you. Look for them that I need and support them. Do not laugh at them. Do not mock them. Support them. Be the Christian that God expects you to be. God bless you.
Wow. Pastor Ben.
Yes.
Yeah, the closing shots.
Okay. I just want to encourage couples. I've realized that it is easy to obtain a marriage than to maintain one.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage those who are married to learn to maintain. One of the greatest problems that we are having currently is the issue of neglect. You see, a marriage is like a garden. If you neglect it, it will grow weeds. So if you neglect your marriage, even if you're a minister, if you neglect your marriage, it will grow weeds. And always remember that your first ministry is unto God. Then the second ministry is to your family.
Yeah.
So learn learn to take care of your marriage. Maintain your marriage, maintain your wife, maintain your husband. They are high maintenance marriage. They are high maintenance wives. There are some wives that will cost you a lot to maintain them. Yeah, but do the work nevertheless. Thank you.
Okay. And men who are going under what you went through, like still waiting for children, can you encourage them also here?
Okay, I want to encourage men that are trusting God for children. Stick to your wife.
Yeah.
You are the priest. Learn to stand with your wife. The Bible says that, I think it's Jacob that prayed for her wife and she conceived. So learn to stand with your wife. Learn to support her.
Yeah.
Be her greatest supporter. The worst thing that can happen to a woman is when she's believing God for a child and then you side maybe with your people or you think of marrying another woman. Don't do that. Stick in there. Believe God. And God will come through for you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you so much for coming, and I'm really so blessed. I've learned a lot also, and I thank you so much for the way God is taking you far, and your ministries, they're just amazing. The couples you have, they're just so amazing with great stories, and I believe God will open great doors for you. Thank you so much, and I'll call you again to come and share deeply about the ministry, to encourage and by the way, you'll give us your YouTube. We'll be playing your songs. Yeah, that is amazing. And by the way, she's a good singer. She's a worshiper. My friend, if she sings, you get healed. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm so encouraged that wherever you are, never give up. God is still there. Never give up. And the challenges you're going through, they're just there to make a way for you and to trust God more. Thank you so much for watching Penzi Halisi. I'm your host, Julie Omore, and God bless you so much. Thank you for watching.